What's poppin'? This is week 3 of the PDL. For me, I'm going ahead and recording this right after the game just happened because I'm in the finals in the CDL, which is a league a couple people I think besides me and Doge are in, not sure off the top of my head. But we're playing DJS over there, so we're going to have to finish off this weekend here with as much prep as we can fit in, because that's not going to be easy. But in the PDL here, we are playing Fuego. Fuego's an annoying little guy. He's a silly little guy. He's getting on my nerves. He needs to be taught a lesson. No, just kidding. I understand his bit. Plus, I like being annoying myself. So we are going to be playing him here, and his team is looking a little San Diego Padres-ish. He has a whole bunch of big free agent acquisition hitters. Like look at this. Like talking about Uber spam over here. We got Trace Ubers up here. Borderline Uber walking wake, even though I think it's Pokemon that sucks personally. But yeah, bunch of bulky, hard hitters, and good speed, better speed than me in general. Because I'm probably not bringing Reggie Lucky here. I'll just tell you I'm not. Yeah, not. I mean, I just don't think there's a whole lot of chemistry here. Same thing with the Padres. Just here to smack me and have decent defense as well, even though the actual defensive core is pretty much limited to Florges and Registeel. He has no grounded poison type is the very first thing I noticed, and a whole bunch of these Pokemon like to just set up. He also doesn't have great removal. So the first thing I thought is just Toxic Spike's Gliscor. That should be really good into him. And not super hard to get up Toxic Spikes versus him either. Even though he's got some ice coverage over here. Scald from Raikou hits really hard. But I do think that will be really good into him. And next thought I had was, wait a minute. Can he get past Wo-Chen? Can he get past Wo-Chen? Wo-Chen for you. Terra Fairy Wo-Chen for you. Song. Wo-Chen for you, as well as Terra Fairy Wo-Chen for you. Wo-Chen for you. Wo-Chen for you, and Terra Fairy for the Aura Sphere. Taunt Wo-Chen for you, also Terra Fairy. Wo-Chen with Taunt for you as well, even though Heavy Slam would do damage to the Terra Fairy. And we do have we'll probably switch out on you. So Hisui and Gudra for you, as well as Gliscor, and Pheasantipity with Taunt for you. So it's a pretty simple matter, in my opinion, for Wo-Chen to wall this team. In prep, it went insaneo. I was playing around with some sub variants as well, but Taunt, I just came in on Zygarde trying to set up every time and made sure that he could not do that. Hisui and Gudra pretty much does the same thing as Wo-Chen. Very difficult for him to take it out with the tools that he has. Spectre will do like a quarter with Shadow Ball, Modest, or something like that. A lot of times when I'm quoting calcs in these, I don't have it off the top of my head, but my calcs, as you can see by my EV spreads, are very, very in-depth. We have Pheasantipity off the bench here. That's going to be fun. Fairy into his team is just really good. Even with Aura Break, it will do a ton to Zygarde over here. And it will OHKO and outspeed Urshifu. And the Spadef on it is just going to be crazy for all of these. It will 1v1 Florges. Even without a poison move, we can just taunt you in case tries to set up, and you turn out. And most importantly, it will taunt a lead Smeargle. We also are going to bring Zoroark, even though we're not going to terror it unless something horrible happens to Wo-Chen, because I was looking at Passimi, and I thought that would be cool, mostly for Registeel. Also with the Scarf, it can knock off the Spectrier. But ultimately, I thought I like Hyper Voice through the sub, especially with Scarf, to make sure he can't like sub down or do anything like that. And also outspeed a +1 Dragon Dance Zygarde. And a second trick to prevent any more setup, especially from Registeel, because the piece de resistance is definitely our Scarf, Encore, Trick, Uxie here. This is gonna be lots of fun because it can just come in on Zygarde every time, and if there's a sub up, then it can Encore it into sub or setup, and if there's not, they can just trick the Scarf and prevent the setup, and this is the biggest threat. So I'm really honestly not very worried about this game. However, we cannot be cocky at all because we were in week 1 of the CDL. We were shown that just doing whatever you want will result in failure. So you have to play even games like this seriously. Even games like this. You know, I say that, but these are some scary Pokemon. Like, they can actually get out of hand. Even if we have, you know, Wo-Chen and Goodra and stuff, if he has the capacity to just chip me down, and he has brought some really fun heat in the past, so there's entirely possible there's something I have no idea that will be really problematic for me. And there may as well be, or may well be. So let us go ahead and see the actual match. We do see the Smeargle here. I wasn't really expecting the Raikou. I was, don't know how much I was expecting the Smeargle, but I was thinking, you know, Walking Wake maybe. Honestly, probably better into my team than Spectrier. But Zygarde is here, and he doesn't have a whole lot of options because he has 9 Pokemon. So seeing Florges and Registeel here are to be expected, considering my team is not, you know, the most overpowering into those Pokemon. So those should help him outlast, or, you know, just last anyway. But Smeargle here is the real interesting Pokemon here, because luckily I didn't bring any removal, as you may have seen. However, Sticky Web is not going to be that annoying for me, because not only do I have just a whole bunch of slow defensive Pokemon, I have U off the ground and Uxie, U off the ground in Gliscor. It does have a tiny bit of speed, just to avoid creep. And Zoroark has the Scarf, so any webs shenanigans he wants to do is not going to be that big a deal. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Pheasantipity, get the taunt off, and he is not going to be able to Spore, so that's revealed. Go ahead and U-turn out on the switch, pretty easy. Here comes Gliscor, get that Toxic Orb up, not that simple versus a Glare Zygarde. And go ahead. We do a lot of damage with Earthquake. That's good to see, because this is always a Pokemon that feels like it can take almost nothing. He goes ahead and gets Rocks up, which, you know, again, with no removal is going to be annoying. I go ahead and EQ again. It probably would have been better to play to just Toxic Spikes. But with the Stealth Rock, I guess I was thinking maybe like he's kind of a lead-ish, you know, just utility set, and he may be okay with getting rid of it or getting it low for some other piece of utility where I don't really know what it would have been, because it's mostly Stealth Rock that this thing gets up. However, we just go ahead and we EQ and Zygarde. He reveals the leftovers. Now I get the Toxic Spikes up, and I have to go back to get those to appear on the screen, which is an annoying glitch. As well as over here in the Pokebase. When are you guys going to fix this shit? This is just annoying. Look at this. These are the Hisuian ones, too. It's not even just a brand new Pheasantipity. We're going to go ahead and get that Toxic Spike up here. And he makes he reveals some really sick heat. Really sick heat there with Core Enforcer. Going to nullify my ability, of course, and bring me down with the Toxic Orb there instead. So I cannot just sit on him, even though I do have Ice Fang. Of course, he has Terra as well on this Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and have to get out of here into the Uxie, of course, to see what else he wants to do. Could have done that maybe turn 1, but whatever. And he, I guess he makes a double here, which is pretty smart here. Yeah, I'm just going to see what he maybe thought I was going to go into to prevent an Uxie. Maybe Wo-Chen, or rather that the Uxie would want to come in on my double. Well, honestly, he probably is just coming into defog, and unfortunately, I can't really do anything to it with my Uxie. Gonna go ahead and go into this to threaten the Uxie. He does get the defog off, which is good for me because of the rocks, but annoying because it means we'll have to get them up again. The spikes, toxic spikes. Go ahead, that time double because I figure he knows that I'm going to try and heavy slam. So we're going to go ahead and go into Dracula, get some more recovery, get some Ice Fang ship. Not a tremendous amount. I didn't really expect there to be that much. Same on the Crobat, actually, which that was mainly there for. Go ahead and go Uxie there. This is not ideal because we cannot simply taunt this. I'm going to go U on the Spore. He gets an Aqua Ring up, and this is where there's a little bit of controversy. I did not think he could baton pass this legally. Apparently, according to Eruption, it is. I'm playing a little bit salty here, but it'll be fine either way. But however, we do have to figure out how to deal with this. He's abusing it. Who knows? Maybe I'll bring something like this myself if this is the case. I'm like, what, does he get to sub pass too? Meh. Because it's so shitty, it can sub pass. No. And he asked if I have any speed investment, which is hilarious. Like, why would I tell you? It'd help you make my decision. Alright, anyway. He is going to go ahead and get the Ingrain up and go into Uxie really on the baton pass for that to prevent Zygarde from setting up afterwards, because we would just trick at that point. However, he goes ahead and ingrains, which means that I can Encore him and just fuck up his whole life. Oh, he's so mad. You suck. Oh, I got the little meh face. We going in. We're being annoying. Let's go Uxie. Uxie the thumbnail for sure in this one. After that play. Go ahead and go Pheasantipity. At this point, it feels like it's like I said before, this is a bad way to look at it, but I want to go Pheasantipity to, I don't know, potentially taunt afterwards or something. And just because I don't know how much use is it really going to be, maybe that's a bad way to look at it. I was thinking maybe he would go hard Zygarde, I guess, and then we could, I don't know, it's not exactly the best play here to go Pheasantipity, I guess, but we go ahead and do it. Just kind of thinking I could taunt after or something, which is kind of nonsense, but anyway, here we go. He's going to just sit and die. Go ahead, smack for a lot because he has no defense. Unfortunately, I can't go for a U-turn here because I think he would live it, and his Encore is going to expire. So we have to hit another play rough, which we do. Another reason why that was maybe not ideal. He's going to sub. I could have this turn. I really felt like I could have done anything. U-turn on the sub would have maybe been annoying, but we have Wo-Chen, so that's what I would have gone into. I didn't really get to show off Wo-Chen as much as I would have liked, at least to this point. So we're going to play rough, and it is going to break the sub. Going to sit on the Shadow Ball, not going to do a lot. I'm going to taunt, so he can't do it again. I'm going to go ahead and U-turn out, pretty easy there, and go into Gliscor just for more recovery. Get the Toxic Spike back up, that is going to be good. And, alright, that is annoying, Glare on you. However, there's no sub up, and there's not been much of an indication that there is a sub coming, considering that there's Glare and Core Enforcer. You think he would have gone for sub before. So I'm going to be slower here, annoying, but he is just going to 1,000 arrows. Obvious going to be on any Zygarde set, which is another reason why I was pretty sure he was not going to set up. And then because he can't coil sub and 1,000 arrows. So we go ahead and we do lose the Scarf. This is the play we wanted to make all along. Good job, Uxie, just in case there is a setup coming in. And also to get rid of his leftovers. This is going to really help us in limiting this big fat threat. And he's going to stay in, actually. So we're just going to foul play on potentially something coming in. Going to go ahead and that time on him continuing to 1,000 arrows, go Wo-Chen. And we are going to taunt, prevent him from defogging, wishing anything. He goes right for the Moonblast, which does more damage than I would have liked, but it's really fine. Go ahead and Terra Fairy up on the second Moonblast and get the Leech Seed up. Here, obviously, great position. Just a case of Iron Head, we're going to go U. He's going to U-turn out, proving that he's probably not set up on that. I actually didn't bother to calc if he was Band or Scarf on Urshifu. Yeah, so now he's in here. I'm just going to EQ to prevent sub, and I know I can stay in on the Shadow Ball. Not going to 2-hit me with our investment. And now I can actually get a Protect off, because he's not Urshifu. Steadily wearing him down. He is allowing himself to get Toxic Spiked, I guess, because he figured it would be annoying with the taunt that we have. And unfortunately, I do not get the Shadow Ball play there. It was honestly kind of obvious that he should Draining Kiss after the Protect there on Gliscor. So he makes a good play and Draining Kisses into my Zoroark, which I outspeed with Scarf and Hex just to pick it off. In comes this guy. I can always go into Wo-Chen. Wicked Blow is going to do Jack. 28. Very nice. Go ahead and Leech Seed up. I'm going to switch him out. And go ahead and taunt him. Oh, that's so much fun. Like I said in the prep, which I guess nobody here has heard yet, gotta go slow. That is the model of the snail. The motto of the snail. Gotta go slow. Yes. And the model of the snail, I suppose. Don't really know where that would come, but they say something like that in Charmless Man by Blur, that using that phrase in that context. Oh well, we're gonna Dazzling Gleam into the Zygarde slot there in case he wants to stay in and sack himself, which I would think he would maybe do. Just prevent him from setting up here, even though I don't think it's particularly likely. Just to make sure that he cannot have any chance there. And this is so annoying. I'm so mad at myself for this play. Alright. Yeah, so we go ahead and on the Seismic Toss, go just into the Zoroark, because it's fairly free. However, he decides, because he's Encore, he's going to double in here. I think he probably predicted that, which is pretty smart. And I am so dumb that I just forget that Sucker Punch is a thing. Obviously, this is Zoroark. Wait a minute. Hold on. Do they have the same? At any rate, well, the double, I don't have the leftovers, so he could tell because of that. Even if it was both 63, I'm not going to bother to go back and check. But at any rate, I should have absolutely gone into something else. I was thinking, well, I outspeed, and just forgot Sucker Punch. So this is a terrible play. At this point, I'm playing really loose because I don't think that this is a surmountable position for me. But yeah, I say that was mean. He's a mean guy. Nasty guy. It's Fuego. Alright. Yeah, so, alright, whatever. Just going to go ahead and, yeah, go ahead and get that off. Ooh, Registeel coming in. I don't think there's much of a threat of it resting. Taunt, he goes ahead for that anyway. I wouldn't really have cared if he had heavy slammed. I did calc, it would not knock me out. Now we're going to go ahead into you. Apparently it was not 63, by the way. I guess he had not come out, so it would have still been 100. It was just 63 due to the illusion. Gonna EQ, gonna get the chip, and we're gonna 2-hit KO from that position. Go ahead and eat a Moonblast. He can't do anything. I'm surprised he went into that first, but at this point, it is over. We go hard Wo Chen. I really wish that I had gotten to showcase Wo Chen more in this because he went insane in the prep. So we're just going to let him finish it off. Not going to foul play, which is my attack. And just for fun, we're going to protect and get hit. Alright, so that's going to be GG. I don't know who is next week. I haven't looked yet. So that would have been a nice way to end it. But I don't know. Yeah, anyway, Uxie with the scarf and the Encore. Really, even though it was not set up Zygarde, prevented, or set up Registeel, really prevented anything. The Toxic Spike went crazy. And Pheasantipity got, did it get 2 kills? I think it did. Yeah, it got 2 kills. So that is fun. Pheasantipity is a really cool Pokemon. And I'm glad that I went ahead and got to use it because it is a really awkward and weird Pokemon. So I'm happy that it found some use, and it did plenty of important stuff. I'm mad that it's obviously greedy, but I'm mad that this was not a 6-0 because I made that terrible play to stay in on the Sucker Punch. Yeah, I mean, pretty much executed everything. Did its job. It was just going to be pretty hard for him considering the defensive tools that we have. However, he brought some really interesting heat. And I just know he's going to be able to steal some wins with it. So definitely a GG to him, regardless. And I definitely wish the heat that he is able to bring here some luck further in this season. So until next week, I will be saying goodbye. Goodbye!